And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. So today, I actually have two special guests with me today. I actually have the Doom Generation podcast. I actually listened to their "So I Married an Axe Murderer" episode. Of course, I'm also part of their Patreon members and everything too. You guys can find the links and all that stuff in the show notes below in the description, so that way you guys can go ahead, follow them, and all that other good stuff. But tonight, we're going to be reviewing Serial Mom. So let's go ahead, let's get on with it. I'm excited to have them here, and let's do this.
Hello.
Hey,
It's
how are
us.
you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. It's always a good time to be able to sit around the kitchen table with Beverly and just see where this goes, right?
As long as there's not a fly buzzing around.
Oh no, we don't want that.
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, in case anybody doesn't know, it's spelled Beverly Sutphin, and she appears to be an unassuming upper middle class housewife living with her dentist husband, Eugene, and their teenage children, Misty and Chip, in the suburbs of Baltimore. So, my question for you guys is this, okay? So, when did you guys find out about Serial Mom? When did you guys become fans of this movie?
Well, we were already John Waters
Mhm.
fans before this movie
By
ever
then,
came out.
right? Because this is '94.
So we
Mhm.
just we watched it because we
'Cause it
already
was a
loved,
John
we
Waters
already
movie.
loved John Waters. Yeah.
That's why. Yeah, and it's Serial Mom. Like,
Come on, Kathleen Turner, Matthew Lillard,
yes,
Ricky
Lake,
Lake.
Patricia Hearst.
Yeah, Patricia.
So yeah, I mean, we were already fans of John Waters, so of course,
So yeah, I'm sure I saw it when it came out. I would
yeah,
imagine.
I'm sure. Yeah.
See, I remember my brother and I, my grandmother actually recorded this for me.
Oh,
I was
nice.
like, yes, I was like 9, maybe 10, and my brother was like a year older than me, but he was over there quoting like Pussy Willows and all that stuff. He was just going off the walls with this movie. And it's very quotable. I really enjoy this movie. It brings me back to my memories of my childhood of watching this film for the very first time. And that's something that I really like, how the nostalgic factor is there for this movie. But yeah, I just thought the opening scene alone, where you actually see this nice suburban housewife just getting ready to sit at the table for breakfast, and everything looks all nice on the Western Front, if you will, and then all of a sudden it gets interrupted with the police coming into their house,
Mm-hmm.
and I like how it goes into this whole entire scene where basically so did you hear about so and so getting murdered? No, I never didn't hear anything about that. But
Oh yeah,
but
you never would guess that it was her,
Right.
in that
Yes.
first
Of
scene.
course. No. Yeah. Like the. Oh, what?
Neither
No?
did the cops at first.
No.
They're like,
no.
oh, this woman couldn't possibly.
She did hurt a fly. I was gonna say
She
could
couldn't
hurt a
even
fly.
say the P word.
I know.
Let
I've never
alone write it down.
No woman would.
No woman would ever
No
say
woman.
pussy. Oh my god,
Pussy. Yeah. But yeah, like she's so funny.
She's
The whole thing's so
hilarious.
funny.
she is, and then the detectives are like, "Well, you heard about the harassing phone calls that we got from Dottie Dinkle, right?
Yes.
Phone calls? What phone calls?
What phone
And ma'am, she believed that the person said pussy, and she goes, well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't like those words. Let's just look at the window. I just like hearing the sounds of the birds.
Yes.
Ooh,
That was so crazy. You can
Right,
tell
that
she's
was-
a little off in that first scene.
Well, you could tell she's
because
a
of the
little
gum
off just
thing,
from-
the fly
Oh,
thing.
Yeah, it's sugar free.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me,
She's
detective. We
got
do not
some
allow gum.
particular rules.
She's got some quirks,
Mhm.
as we come to find out very, very quickly.
Yes.
Quirks
like
is
for
being
instance,
nice.
no gum in the house.
Yeah.
Can't have
Yes.
gum in the house.
She doesn't like the sound.
Well, ew. I mean, like, she's also supposed to be kind of like loosely based on John Waters' mother.
Yeah. And didn't they say this is her favorite movie of his too? It's his favorite movie, and I think it's his mom's
and it's her
favorite movie of his.
I mean, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
But then you also have this other thing though too that's going on where we're introduced to Ricky Lake's character. We're introduced to Chip. We're introduced to the brother and sisterly love, which you actually get.
Yeah.
And then Ricky is just basically just that daughter who wants to find love in all the wrong places and everything. She winds up dating this one college guy with this Jeep and almost hits the police officer.
Right.
And then you have Chip's friends who don't wear their seatbelt, which is also another thing that gets on Beverly's
Oh
nerves.
yeah, she
Yeah.
doesn't like that. She doesn't like it when Scotty doesn't wear
Breaking
his
the
seatbelt. Could you
rules.
imagine? This little boy doesn't wear his seatbelt.
She tried to tell the police on him. But
I
they
know
didn't
she
care.
really did. She's like, there they
No,
go.
it's the 90s. They
That's
weren't
true.
that harsh with it.
That's true. That's true.
Right, because don't forget, seatbelt laws didn't get it really restricted until, or really strict up until probably the 2000s and stuff.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I thought it would be sooner than that, but maybe not in Baltimore if you're driving a Plymouth Fury around
maybe
like
not.
that. Like maybe nobody cared because it was like grandfathered in.
Maybe.
Because nobody cared over here either in Mississippi either. It's like, well, if you get killed, you get killed. Good luck to you. But yeah, you see, teenage boys, they need to learn how to buckle their seatbelts.
Right?
That's something they should be worried about. So
sure, yeah, she'll get you.
And so then after that winds up happening, we wind up seeing Beverly. She goes up to her bedroom, and then that's when she makes those harassing phone calls again.
Yes. But then is this also is this also where she remembers why she's making those?
Yes, because it was something
calls?
about, so first she's making the calls to Mink Stoll, to Dottie Hinkle.
Right.
It's just the cocksucker.
Yeah, it's just the cocksucker residence at 1, 2, 3, fuck you way. 1, 2, 1, 2, fuck you. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, pussy way.
But yeah, it's because she snagged the parking spot from her at Joanne's Crafts.
Fair. She's an asshole. I bet she also, she sounds awful. She saw that. That was terrible. I'd call her up too. Say harsh words.
Harsh words. That
was rude.
I also liked also too how that she was like, well, the police are tracing this call this very minute.
Oh, she's not buying it.
Yeah. No, they're not.
No,
they're not. They're right outside.
Arrest.
Yeah.
that it has to be a serious crime for a police officer to be able to track your phone.
Right, to trace the calls.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
They're not going to do that. They're going to ask some
dirty
questions.
Phone
maybe
calls.
I'm surprised that they were even asking any questions.
It's for the detectives to be out there just because she called her a pussy face.
Yeah,
like the note didn't threaten her life or anything.
No, she said it didn't say I'll get you pussy face or your next pussy face.
It said
that was one of the little ransom notes that she had.
Oh, it did say I'll get you.
Oh, I'll
get
you. Okay, well that's kind of a threat. Like I don't know, like I'll get you. I'll get you.
She's gonna tickle her.
Sure, maybe
she'll be able to
tickle feather or something.
Give her a little tickle. I don't know. Maybe that's why I would be upset about that.
But yeah, then of course you actually have Miss. And then of course she changes her voice. She goes, "This is Mrs. Wilson from the telephone company. I understand you're having problems with your obscene phone caller."
Right. Could you tell me what she said?
Makes her repeat it.
Right, like
I don't know if I can say that.
I don't know if I could say it. It's okay. It's okay. You could say it. But yeah.
And then at this moment, you also have the other neighbor that's coming into the house.
Rosemary.
This nosy ass neighbor.
I know. She just comes right on in. Rosemary.
She's
like a busybody.
What's happening up here?
Gladys Kravitz around the house. Like she's all up in your business. And she almost catches her.
Yeah, she
almost
something.
catches her. She,
Is everything okay, Beverly?
Oh, I was just on the phone with the phone
I think
company.
she said the phone company. You know how that is.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, okay,
They just won't know when to leave me alone. They just call up every single time that they always have something they want to sell you or something.
Right, yeah.
Oh, okay. And I'm like, you are such a dumbass. But
I mean, she's in her house. Like,
no one would expect Beverly.
That's my house. Yeah, like you wouldn't put two and two together. Even BTK's family didn't suspect it.
White lady, no way. Come on.
The one that doesn't even allow gum in her house.
Please, she's not going to get blood on her shoes.
She's like uptight about and gore.
Then after that, you wind up seeing her go over to the PTA meeting because of the fact that you have Chip's teacher who wants to have a meeting about Chip. He goes, "Oh, he's really focusing today."
Yeah, and he's like talking about how great he's doing.
Right, like he's doing fine, but he's drawing blood feast posters.
Yeah, he has an unhealthy obsession with sick horror films.
Ooh,
and she's like, she doesn't. That's kind of weird. I mean, it's not weird about her when you find out what you find out.
No, but like when they're watching Blood Feast, she's like, "Let's watch."
Oh yeah, she wants to watch it again.
She's seen it. She's like totally fine with it.
Exactly, it's all about parental vision and stuff like that. She's like, okay, let's rewind that back where he was taking off the heart.
They talked about it. They know it's an effect. Whatever. Nice. It's fine. She takes care of her family. She's on top of it.
Yeah, but when the teacher starts blaming her, like, "Oh, this is what's going on in your house?
Yeah, this is
what
your
are you
fault.
doing?"
Like,
she's like,
"I would have ran him over too." You know what? Beverly Sutphin is not a villain here.
Right?
No, she's not. She's just trying to stick up for her family.
She's taking care of her family.
And her morals.
She's taking care of the trash. She's doing the recycling. You know what?
She's doing the recycling.
She really
she's
should
an
have looked
all-around
around
mother.
a little.
She should run for governor.
I think she's just misunderstood.
She really should have looked around just a little bit before ramming him with her car, though, because that stoner chick was just like fully blazing right there under the tree.
That's true. That's true. She's like, oh yeah, like all by herself, leaning up against a tree.
I know, what a loser. Where's your friends?
What a loser,
Where's your
what a
stoner
burnout.
friends?
Right? She's like, I didn't bring enough for everybody.
Right? All I got's this roach, man. Come on. Shh.
Snickle Fritz.
But I do like how she stands up for Chip and everything. I'm like, and I thought to myself with this teacher's a total ball bag. I'm like, come on,
yeah.
I'm like, look, the fucking kid is doing his work.
Yeah, he's doing
he's not
well.
Like
Shut up.
Behind.
No, he's got his math down. He's just making some art.
Yeah,
some art. He's just got some weird interests. He's not torturing animals like he asked.
Right.
You know.
You only believe it can be.
Oh yeah, that song Daybreak.
Yep.
I know how she's murdering him.
Oh yes,
running him over and over.
Yes. Well, she only listens to that in the car. You'll find out.
Oh, that's the
when
only
she's
song
recycling.
she ever puts on.
And when she's recycling, that's her jam.
That's her only jam.
That's her go-to
jam. Yes, her jellies and her
If
jam.
she had an iPod, it'll just be on repeat the whole entire time. But
that's the only thing on there. That's the only thing on there. She has a 45? 45? Is that what you got? I don't know how you play that in the car. I don't know. Records.
But you know, then of course she winds up running over the teacher, and like you said, you see that stoner chick there, and it's like, okay, she's not even really a reliable source for any kind of information.
Just some teenager who's high. So
because they find that out on the news later when they're all watching the news about how he died.
Because she didn't realize anybody was
there was an
there.
eyewitness, and she's like, oh shit. What? And they're like, oh, she's like a burner. Her kids tell her, like, oh, she's like, oh, well, never mind then. I'm not really worried about it.
Right, I'm not gonna go after this girl because
there's no reason. There's no reason.
I'm telling you, man, she ran her over, and let me just tell you, it was a blue car, man. It was a blue car.
Just like blue,
just like your car, Mom.
Right.
Then you see the nosy neighbor just walking over there. It's like, man, that was your car, wasn't it? That was the only.
Right, she's got the only blue.
Yeah, we don't
wagon.
know yet, but she has the only blue
you
station
come to find
wagon
out,
that belongs to a parent of one of his students
in
or
Baltimore.
whatever. Yeah.
In all
I'm sure there was a lot of
Baltimore.
blue station wagons in
I'm
Baltimore.
sure.
in
I'm
the
sure.
90s.
I'm like, that's hard to believe. In a little suburban area with a
Right.
station wagon, that's where most of the kids are actually at, where you need carpools and stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that she's the only one with a blue. But I'm like, okay, for the sake of Baltimore, I'll believe it.
Right.
There you go.
Right. Oh, that's also where she serves the perfect meatloaf at the dinner.
Yes. So yeah,
Right.
she comes home from running him over, and Scotty and Chip and Birdie are all watching the horror movie, and that's when she wants them to rewind the heart ripping out scene again, and then it goes straight into the meatloaf,
the perfect meatloaf.
Yes.
And Chip says something about he's so happy he could shit.
You know how I don't like the brown word. Yes. The brown word, which sounds so much worse to me than shit.
Yeah,
the brown
word.
Right.
You like
Who does this say shit? I mean,
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. At the dinner table, though.
And there's a good family moment here where Misty's talking about Carl wanting her to lose weight, and he'll take her out, and they're like, "But do you want to lose weight?
If you want to lose weight, then you can lose weight, but don't
let this douchebag make you lose weight."
This guy, he thinks Pee Wee Herman dolls are weird.
I know,
and he's wrong.
That Pee Wee Herman doll in the box. Oh, I'll pay $158 for that.
I want to know how much the value is it right now.
We both have our dolls still from childhood, but they're not in the box.
Yeah, oh no, they were well loved.
Yes,
they still are.
Yes,
they still are.
Mine's still out on the shelf.
Yeah,
because I still remember those Pee Wee Herman dolls though too from Toys R Us back in those days. They would sell them and things like that. And Shy World was also another little toy store company out in Boston where I'm originally from. They would actually have them over there too. But yeah, and then it just has that little nostalgia of Pee Wee Herman being in the 90s and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But the guy don't even like him. He calls him a fucking weirdo. And then
I know.
I mean, he is or was.
Like, he clearly has no taste. Get rid of him.
Clearly, not even bad taste.
Doesn't even have any taste at all.
None
it's
at all.
Like diet soda.
He's like bland. He's like a white piece of paper with nothing on it. Just blah, Carl, blah, Carl.
He's got the most basic white person name anyways. Carl.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but then I like how Bev's actually standing up for her daughters. Like, look, why should you even be subject to that? You could do better than Carl.
Yeah, who cares what Carl thinks if he doesn't
Ricky
like you as
Lake.
you are? Yeah, you're Ricky
you
fucking Lake. Go, Ricky. Go, Ricky. Go, Ricky. You just find out about your future, Ricky. Just hold on. Just hold on.
And that's when the nosy neighbor runs over to tell them about the math teacher was murdered. Did you hear?
Right.
And they were describing, the stoner chick is describing your car.
Yes. Yes, that's like your car, Mom. Yeah, she was like, well, you got your wish. And he's like, well, he was an asshole.
I know,
he didn't deserve to die.
Not that bad.
Not like that. So then at 10:45, they got prayers and bedtime.
Oh, yeah, and she's reading her Birds book. But it's got serial killer photos inside of it. And she's all like lovingly stroking Charles Manson's face. It's You're like oh, shit.
What is it? It said it's a director's trademark or whatever to have some sort of Charles Manson portrait somewhere.
Oh, really?
In the movie. Right. That's what I saw. I don't think I've ever noticed quite so many serial killers.
And she gets all horny thinking about serial killers and they bang
loudly,
really loud. She like fully power bottoms Sam Watterson.
Yes.
She's like lifting him off the bed. Just like, oh
wow.
That was the most disturbing part, not because you shouldn't be fucking, but like your kids, your kids, and like,
like and they're teenagers, of course they're gonna be up at night though too.
And she was being, it was like she was doing it intentionally. Like she wanted them to hear, which was disturbing. Like, ew.
That was the gross part. Yeah. It was like she wanted them
like,
to
sure,
hear.
Get yours, girl. But like,
yeah, absolutely. But how it doesn't even really sound like you're actually enjoying that.
That sounded like fake.
Making a
show.
Sounded
like you're trying to perform for your husband and hoping that he won't catch it, that you think that he sucks. That's what it sounds like to me.
I guess. She's not selling it.
Well, no. I have a note. If Sigourney Weaver tops, I guess Kathleen Turner power bottoms. We need to do 2 shirts.
Now we need
Sigourney
2
Weaver
shirts.
tops
And
Kathleen Turner power bottoms. Yep.
Yep.
There you go.
All right.
And have like a bed with her lifting him up.
Yeah. Like an Exorcist or something.
It's the circle of life. It's like the 2 sides to the same coin. Man.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, you can definitely tell that, they're teenagers. Of course, they're going to be up. They're not like 10 years old or whatever when they're sleeping.
Right.
Even the husband's like, 11. Eugene is like, keep it down a little.
Yeah.
Cool out. Like, you're freaking me out, kind of.
Okay. Like,
we got messages popping up all of a sudden. Yep. That's the first time I noticed.
Let's see. 2 cents says, like a division problem.
Oh. Long division.
Very long.
Yeah. I don't know what Sam Watterson.
Yeah, Sam Watterson
is working with.
I don't
never gave it a whole lot of thought. Never gave it a whole lot of thought.
I'm not working with much since Beverly has to pretend that she's banging serial killers.
That's just her thing, though.
Maybe that's just
she was into the serial killers.
Oof.
But the next day after she gets done banging, she winds up
recycling joyfully.
But yeah, then of course you wind up having Eugene being called in for a dentist appointment because one of his patients winds up chipping his tooth, and of course he says, "Well, you can make an appointment on Monday." He goes, and the wife goes, "Well, he can't wait that longer."
He's a wood.
Yeah, he'll be dead by then.
Be dead tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's
from
too
a
much.
chipped tooth.
From his chipped tooth, he's in so much pain. Was it Ralph and I forget what her name is.
Betty, I think.
Betty?
Yeah.
That sounds good.
So yeah, then the cops are there digging in her trash because
she sees them digging through the trash, and it's like,
that's when they find out she has the only blue station wagon registered to a parent at that.
Right.
That guy.
Right. They show back up and they ask about the car.
And they find that magazine that's got the P cut out, and she's like,
Premier magazine. And
that's not mine.
She goes, well, you could see right here, it's Rosemary's anyway. Like,
it's not my
That's
magazine.
not even mine. I'm holding it for a friend.
I recycle.
Yeah,
she do.
She definitely takes it very seriously because she catches Rosemary
making a damn mess with
being
her trash.
Goddamn litter bug. She's out there talking to the recycling dudes.
Yeah, she brings the trash guys little liquor bottles.
I know. She's like, here, guys, and they have it while they're like driving the trash.
I know you'd think that would be one of the rules she wouldn't want to break, like giving them liquor while they're driving around.
I mean, we'll find out later that there was a reason that she wanted to have
her
these
buddies
guys on her side. But yeah, like they talk about like someone should kill her.
I know, and I'm like, hey, watch who you're saying that around.
Yeah, you know what? Someone just may. Someone just may.
As if she was like Superman or Supergirl or something.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go
She's
ahead
the
and take care of this
hero.
for you. That's not gonna be a problem.
That's weird. I'm gonna
Super
tell my
serial
friend,
killer.
serial mom.
Yes.
But I like how they're talking shit about her though too, about
Oh.
the neighbor, and she's like, she's so disgusting. I know.
Yeah.
She's very disgusting.
Yeah, that lady's a lot.
But yeah, she is making a mess. She doesn't recycle. They're talking shit about her. Then she gives them liquor bottles, which I thought was hilarious. Even,
gives them a little treat for the workday.
Right?
right.
You could
Here
have
you
a
go
bottle
for all
for a
those
treat.
loads.
Right? But yeah,
and then she's peeping in. Is it whose house is that? Miss Ackerman's house?
I think
and Dottie's
that's
visiting, or
yeah,
Dottie's
I think
house?
That's Rosemary's house, and
Okay.
Dottie is there, and they're watching Joan Rivers' talk show.
Oh yeah,
featuring serial hags.
Serial hags.
And they know they're women that date
that
serial
fall in
killers,
love with serial
fall in love with
killers.
serial killers, and Beverly's out there creeping around the window.
Spooks them, and they invite her in for a beer.
Yeah,
and she's like,
"No, I'll
like
have
noon.
some coffee though.
Yeah,
I'll have some coffee though."
Are those pussy willows?
Dottie's
like, wait a minute.
Say?
And I like how she goes, yeah, they're kind of dry. I'm like,
Yes.
Your pussy willows look a little
Of course,
dry.
Rosemary's got dry pussy willows. Come on now, look at her.
And yeah, I don't know
Look
what
at
her
her.
end game was here, but she clearly wanted her to know it was her at this moment.
Well,
like she seemed like she,
because she's a
she's
psychopath.
Yeah,
like,
she sets
that's
her up
why
with
she
that
does it.
Fabergé
She
egg.
Throws the Fabergé egg. Dottie, why would you?
Could
do
you imagine?
that?
What would you do?
I don't know.
She tries. She's like, it wasn't me.
It
was her. I swear it was her.
Right. Like, I don't know. And then she whisks her out of there to go find another Franklin Mint.
Yes.
Franklin Mint. We were talking about the Franklin Mint last night.
Yeah, we're just gonna go over to the flea market.
Yeah,
go and get you another one.
Right.
Hey, Dottie, clean this mess up that you made.
And it's like, and you wouldn't make Dottie pay for it,
right? Like,
who's paying for this
Fabergé
egg?
Lock it up in not your house,
right?
We're gonna leave you in Rosemary's house. Lock it up. You can finish watching the show, I guess. Clean up this shit. Lock it up.
Finish your beer.
Finish your beer.
It's the suburbs. It'll happen.
I mean, I guess a little day drinking. I don't know what else they're doing. She's not recycling.
Nope.
No, that's for sure.
She's busy watching Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers, and also too, I also like how that plays out, where it's like she wants her to know that she was actually the one that made the calls, though. That made me laugh, though. Just pussy, and she
all horrified.
Oh yeah,
she said,
her
pussy
face.
to me.
It was you. But yeah,
and then we're at the dental office,
right? And the cops have come to interview the doc at his office while he's in there trying to.
He's like doing a Steve Martin fucking.
He kind of is, but
Little Shop of Horrors job on him,
like a baby man. Like,
yeah.
Don't. Call
and do you notice the receptionist is the mom from My So-Called Life?
Bess Armstrong of Jaws 3. Yes, I did.
Jaws 3.
I did. I noticed that was her. But yeah, she like, don't call me in on a Saturday and then squirm in my seat like that. You
right?
Want this done
don't be a baby.
God.
I mean, hurry up and get out of here.
But yeah. Anyway,
exactly. Especially when it was his day off and he decided to do something nice for him, and then he winds up complaining because of the fact that his tooth is bothering him because of the way that he's drilling the tooth.
Yeah,
it's irritated. Of course, it's gonna hurt, dude. It's not.
Maybe he didn't give him any Novocaine.
Right? He's like, you called me in here on a Saturday, and then I'm gonna drill this dry.
Maybe this might be the sequel to the origin story to the movie The Dentist.
Oh. Yeah.
Or it turns out that serial dad was really there the whole time, that he's been over here offing people in the dental chair, and she didn't even know it. She was married to her hottest fantasy this whole entire time.
Wow, that fucking's gonna get way weirder.
Yeah.
And louder.
Yep.
The neighbors are all gonna have to move away.
Oh no! Drill sounds in the middle of the night and screams.
That would be horrible. Dental apparatus.
Oh, those like
yeah, and like the chairs with the lights and the kind of like that one.
Yes. So yeah, the cops come. The cops come to question him about, was your wife buying, or is it she was checking out books about killers or something from the library?
They found it in the trash, wasn't it? They found it in the trash.
Yeah, they found it in the trash, and they're like, "That's not my wife's." Really? Okay.
Right.
Well, it has her name on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has her name on it, or whatever, or that she checked them out. Why would she throw them away? The library.
Yeah,
books,
it can't be library books, because then she wouldn't have thrown them away. I wouldn't think.
I don't know. But they ask about the books. He says they have to be chips. There's chips into those.
Because that would make sense. Yeah.
He's like, those are my sons. He's like, no, they're definitely Beverly's.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you don't know what you're talking about. So now at the shop, right?
They go to the flea market for the Fabergé egg.
And Missy's having a hard time.
Oh, she got stood up by Carl.
Right. We find that out earlier, but then we see Carl
with Tracy Lords, another John Waters staple.
And so, of course, Beverly sees.
And sees him buy her the Fabergé egg that Rosemary couldn't afford.
Oh, yes. She wasn't. It's damaged goods. Fabergé egg. Franklin Mint or not. These are damaged
And what does
goods.
Tracy Lords want with a chipped Fabergé egg at like 19 years old or however old she's supposed to be right there?
I don't know. She was like, ooh, Franklin Mint. Like, she was all excited about it. But yeah. Rosemary does the thing where she switches the prices on.
Yes, changes the tags.
It was on sale.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what, though? I think of her character as like gold digging in a sense, where basically, you know, Carl's cheating on her with Ricky Lake, so she's going to try anything that she can just to get under Carl, anyways. Basically, I took her as
Carl
like a
get
gold
money
digging
from?
friend.
I know. He must be a rich
money?
kid.
Probably. Did you see his Jeep?
Yeah,
that's
rich. His Jeep is definitely not cheap.
Not a cheap Jeep.
Nope.
Not a cheap Jeep. Beep beep. But yeah. So
she grabs. She sees poker. Him and stalks him. She gets Rosemary's new fireplace poker and stalks him to the bathroom.
He's got to take a piss.
Yes. So and she just straight up. I mean, there's a dude hiding she doesn't see.
He's down there by the glory hole because of course,
with his eyeball right there. You trying to lose an eye, sir? You're gonna get pink eye with your eye by the glory hole.
You can't put your eye in a glory hole. That's a terrible idea.
Don't do that, sir.
You'll get an infection. But yeah,
he sees her hiding in there with the poker.
Right, and he's like, does he bail out of there?
I think when she's stabbing Carl, I think he runs out. She doesn't see that he was in there.
Right. Yeah, she like pulls his liver
out.
Oh,
and she's all like,
she's like trying to get it off of there. And she flips.
Which I was at first like, why does she even care? But she has to return the poker.
Right. Because
it was just right there.
She only borrowed it.
Plus, I think she's trying to frame Rosemary.
Oh, yeah. 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 She definitely has to raise that suspicion.
I was thinking like maybe she would go on ahead and clean up the stick before actually going.
She just leaves it all covered in goo.
Like it was gooey.
It was real gooey. And what was with this fool who walked into the bathroom with a fucking kebab? You brought a kebab into the toilet with you?
That's
actively
wild.
Eating it, not like wrapped up in paper, like an open shish kebab. You're just like,
he's like, I'm gonna go piss
like this.
One.
Or even weirder, sit down and take
as
a
crap.
As a guy,
I don't want anything in my mouth as I'm pissing, especially in a public bathroom. That's
gross.
Sure.
He's gonna sit in the big. So that's for after the glory hole. He was going to the glory hole.
Right, maybe.
That's what it was.
That's what it was. That was for
when he's hungry.
Happy ending.
Yeah. Gotta have a kebab.
When he's on empty afterwards.
Have a kebab. That's what you need.
But then after that, you end up seeing everybody just screaming at the fact that they found a dead body.
Tracy Lords is like she's had to be held back. She's screaming,
and then immediately she sees that goofy looking detective and is like,
she's like, oh hey
what's up?
Because they notice that Ricky Lake comes over, Misty comes over, and she's like, oh
yeah. So they're all like, oh, she knows him. Okay,
right. They're like, oh,
connecting the dots.
The boyfriend, yeah. Exactly.
And again, Mom's like, well, you got what you wished for, dear. And she's
no.
She
killed somebody, sells Pee Wee Herman for $150.
Right? She was stoked about that.
She does a lot. She does a lot for her family. She kills for her family.
She really does. That's what she's out there. She's hustling. And then Rosemary reaches down there.
Well, she sees the goo on her shoe.
Oh, yeah. She's like, you've got poo on your shoe.
It's like, ew. And it's like a piece of lung or something.
Yes,
it's just like hanging off her
it
shoe.
Was gore. But yeah, so she sees that and she reaches down the poker and she's got bloody hands. Like, I'm so surprised that she wouldn't have
immediately said, well, and Rosemary wouldn't have immediately reported that. Like, she waited a minute to say,
thought it was shit on her. She thought it was shit on her shoe, but I'm like, that is red, dude.
That was blood.
Yeah, that's very red.
Like, because she looked horrified. She looked like that's not the kind of face when you find out it's poo. You start screaming and hollering.
Yeah. Well, and how the hell did shit get all over your fireplace poker? That's even weirder.
Right, and it's red too,
girl. You saw that glory hole.
Yes,
just saying.
It was pretty nasty.
There might have been
come in and out of that glory hole that you don't want.
Someone needed it as a poop knife.
They used
to
it as
break
a
up large
could have been
feces.
And then Dad's at home digging in her bedside drawer and finds all of her serial killer porn.
Her scrapbooks, all of
her 8x10 from Richard Speck.
Oh God,
and her tape of Ted Bundy, which is John
Waters. Yeah. And I guess that one of the things that you see in there is like a hand-painted greeting card.
Mm-hmm.
And that was actually, they borrowed it from somebody. It was actually a hand-painted greeting card from John Wayne Gacy.
Oh my God. John Waters has the craziest collection of things.
Well, it wasn't even his. He borrowed it.
He knows people with the craziest collections.
I mean, he just like, if I need to find a hand-painted John Wayne Gacy greeting card, like he's the kind of
Didn't
guy
they have stuff like that in the Museum of Death when we went? Didn't they have some of John Wayne Gacy's original?
They had his
drawings.
art, and they had his clown shoes, and they had his letters. There was a bunch of letters from a bunch of different
murderers.
It was kind of like Beverly Sutphin's little.
God, imagine that's like her dream place, the Death Museum.
Oh my God,
she'd be getting so horny in there.
By the way, we gotta go.
Oh yeah, it moved or something, right?
Yep.
But yeah, after that, we wound up. Of course, we were back at the house again, I believe, right?
So he's listening to the radio about Carl. The kids are at the video store talking about Mom being a murderer.
Yes,
and that video store is John Waters' actual local video store.
And the movie that they're, and if you look around, that video store is awesome.
Yeah,
all of those things. And the movie that they're watching is Joan Crawford's Straight Jacket, which was like heavy in the, you can tell what like she hated Christina era, because there was two movies, Berserk and Straight Jacket, where like it turns out that like the daughter, it was like, it wasn't me, it was my teenage daughter. Like anyway, but there was also a Trog poster on the wall. Nice. I don't know. Joan Crawford.
So then they're back at home having dinner, saying grace.
Yes.
And everyone is looking at Mom kind of like,
I don't know
what's like, going on. Is it her?
Right. And now they're having dinner. Who says something? Chip says something.
I think Chip is the only one who doesn't yet take this seriously. I think both Misty and the dad are both like, maybe it is her, but Chip's still kind of like,
says something about that, like sets her off because she gets up.
Right, it's the fly. The fly was going around.
Oh, that was in the very beginning.
Yeah, no, the fly was in the very, very beginning because it kept landing on all the breakfast. But there was something.
Right. There was something else that gave her.
Chip tells her
about Scotty thinks
she's the killer,
and she immediately just leaves,
and she takes off, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
So like, oh wait,
go to follow.
She's gonna go kill Scotty
to where she thinks she's going, or what they think she's going, to Scotty's house.
And the cops are already out there following. So the cop car follows her, but she ditches it.
The cop. Oh yeah,
she ditches it, and so you don't know where she is. You think she's at Scotty's, but she's not.
That's right. She's at Ralph's place.
Yes.
And he's eating an entire fucking cake.
Oh, and the way they ate.
Oh my God,
the chicken thing. Oh my God.
Disgusting.
It was really gross. It was really gross.
It made me think that they were vultures, the way they were eating.
It was
it was disgusting.
I would have wanted to kill them after watching them eat like that.
I'm weird about chicken just anyway, and that, like, I almost threw up. I was gonna puke. That was disgusting.
She's envisioning her beloved birds while she watches this.
While she's watching them, they're eating birds. So the cops call for backup to get down to.
So yeah, everybody's on their way to Scotty's.
Going to Scotty's, and Scotty's trying to jerk off to skin flicks.
Yes,
and
freaking horny Scotty. That's all he ever wants to do.
So busts out her diaphragm.
Oh yeah, she's like, get up here before the kids get home, Ralph.
She's like, I got out the lube and diaphragm, baby.
Could be a party over here.
She sees that box moving in the bottom of her closet.
She thinks that there's mice,
which there is also randomly, because there's also a rat that bites her, but it's like, Beverly.
There's no mice, and Beverly's in there with the scissors.
Yes, the sewing scissors from earlier. Gets her.
Stabs her right in the diaphragm.
Right in the diaphragm.
And then also a mouse bites her.
Yeah, she's
like, to add.
Why is that mouse attacking her?
Right? Was it rabbit?
I don't know.
But yeah, the mouse gets her as well, and now the whole family, like, everybody's converging on Scotty's place. Poor Scotty. He's just trying to
jerk off and have a good night.
Very violently, though. He's really going for it.
He needs to tone it down. I feel like he's doing it.
He's gonna hurt himself.
I'm surprised he didn't pull it off.
Right? I mean, I'm surprised like the neighbors weren't calling people.
He's like shaking the bed all by himself.
Yes, like I'm sure if there was chandeliers, like they were like
swinging
back and forth,
downstairs.
back and forth. But yeah, no, he needs to tone it down a little bit because everyone's about to bust into his room.
Yeah, and so she, in the meantime, Ralph's come in. She's thrown scissors at him and missed. He's out of the house, so she drops the air conditioning unit.
Yes, right on his head.
Right on his head, and now everybody converges on Scotty jerking off.
Yeah,
all the cops run in.
Everybody's in there. Oh no, Scotty!
And then they hear, oh nope, there's a radio report. This other couple has been murdered.
Yeah, it's not Scotty at all.
It wasn't her at all.
Yep, it's the other people. I forget.
So yeah, they get back all relieved, like, oh, it can't be Mom because we thought she was going to Scotty's and she's home with strawberries.
She's got dessert. So I mean, that can't be her. We were all being so silly.
And then the next day, Dad's like in the car, like, is it menopause?
Well, they go to church.
I love how
is it
blames that on menopause? I'm like, okay, killing people is part of menopause.
I'm waiting for that.
Oh, I know. I can't wait to go.
I'm going to use that as an excuse.
Yes,
it's the menopause.
It's the menopause. I'm sorry I killed those two people at the grocery store. They were standing in the middle of the goddamn aisle, and I needed that.
But yeah, then lost him. But yeah, then you actually have on Sunday the police follow the Stuffins to the church as Beverly is named as the prime suspect in the Sterner's murders. The service abruptly ends when everyone flees in panic after Beverly sneezes, during which she escapes as the police attempt to arrest her. She hides at the video store where Chip is employed, and I thought that was actually pretty funny on how they managed to do that. I'm going to cut into a break for 1 second. Please be patient. I'm going to find out what's
Ah,
hello.
That's better. Internet went doon.
Oh no, now we can't hear you.
Oh no.
Do we need to
No, we're good. This is not the internet.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry. The internet went down, man.
It's okay. These things happen. It's totally fine. It's one of the things that happens when you're doing lives or whatever.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure everything was fine on your end and stuff like that. I didn't want to continue without you.
Right.
Where did we leave off?
I
don't know
so
where
we were leaving
off.
up to Scotty jerking off very, very hard.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Yes, okay.
Right. So they had done all of that and everybody catches him. And then the next day they're getting up to go to church.
Yes.
And a line of cops.
Oh, yes. Like every
down
cop in
the whole
town
street,
waiting.
They're just following her, waiting for those prints to come back as hers or not.
Yeah, they can't arrest her until they have some
sure
prints.
that it's her. So they go to church. Everybody's talking.
Oh, I know. And she just like, not oblivious, but she's like kind of likes it. She's just got a smile.
Because she's a serial killer. She likes the attention. That's what they're all into that. So while they're doing all the prayers, like the cops are all coming in and filling in the seats and they're singing and doing their prayers. And she hawks that massive loogie on that baby. She sneezes like on that.
So nasty.
Oh,
it's
it is
like
disgusting.
Slimes
Like,
this baby in the face.
That?
I know.
Can we throw a loogie on your baby's face? Like, yeah, sure, right next to its eye.
Sure,
Yeah.
And so right when they get the okay to arrest her, everyone panics because she sneezes on this baby and the mom screams like,
everybody starts running, and in the confusion, Chip and Birdie get her out the back door.
And they steal Scotty's car.
They sure do.
They don't even include Scotty. They just take off.
They just leave Scotty at the church and then they start peeling away, and then they go into the video store.
Yes, they hide her in the back room.
Yes, and Mrs. Jensen is there as soon as they open for her copy of Annie.
Fucking asshole.
She needs to rent Annie. She's bringing back Ghost
Bill
Dad.
Cosby
Yes.
And she goes, I just love Bill Cosby pictures. I'm like, ooh.
Yikes.
No.
Yikes. If you knew now what you or knew then what you know now.
And then mom hears him from the back telling her she needs to rewind. She never rewinds. He's gonna charge her.
Like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I bet you she also
I don't feel like it.
I bet you she also doesn't put her fucking shopping cart back
no,
in the
I bet she
trolley
doesn't.
thing either. And that's a dick move.
Mm-hmm.
Garbage. You gotta rewind it.
And Scotty's following him.
Yes, he's following.
He sees her take off and then them take off after her to Mrs. Jensen's.
She is now taken off and she's going after Miss Jensen for being rude and not rewinding.
And what's soon to find out for making her dog lick her feet, which was disgusting.
Oh my God.
I
almost threw up again.
Yeah, that scene right
nasty.
there made me like, okay, this is disgusting. She just needs to kill her right now.
Just do it now.
Just do it now. Do it now. There's no better reason than that. That's foul.
And I love that she has the knife and she's going to kill her with the knife, but she puts it back so she can club her to death with a leg of lamb.
That was also, it was based on a short story called Lamb to Slaughter.
Oh, really?
With a leg of lamb. And I also feel like they did something like that in either like Tales of the Unexpected or Thriller or whatever, like those 60s mystery shows, those British 60s mystery shows. But then after she bludgeons her husband with the leg of lamb, the cops come and eat it. Disposing of the evidence. Nice. So I don't know if that also had something to do with it or not, but that's what it was based off of. But yeah, she beats her to death while she's singing Tomorrow.
And Scotty sees it.
Scotty sees it because he's gotten up hired. Also, John Waters paid $60,000 to get the rights to
Annie to play that song.
Yeah. During that $1,000. That was the most expensive part apparently of this movie, was paying for the rights to
that's
Annie.
what I saw too.
Yeah.
But whenever Scotty just has that little breath of life, like, oh good, she's not gonna do it, then she comes back with the lamb. It's like,
oh no, she is.
And so he sees it, and then she sees that he saw it.
Right.
And now Scotty's got to die.
Yeah. So she chases him with the big old butcher knife.
And she's like stabbing through his rag top and shit.
Oh man, he takes off in his car.
And she commandeers some man's van.
Does I wrote
with the knife and everything. Yeah. And then also too, you also have Chip and them at the house still trying to look at the window as this is happening. Mm-hmm. And then, but I'm like, at this point, your cover is blown, dude, girl.
Yeah,
you're not coming back
done.
to this.
It's done. But yeah, there's like a whole chase happening. Birdie and Chip go back to the house, get Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like everybody's chasing through the town. And they go to...
So she's chasing Scotty, and Scotty stops at this venue where
Hammerjacks.
Camel Lips is playing.
Camel Lips.
She's got her L7 shirt on. We went and saw... You saw L7 twice recently, but she and I went and saw L7 not that long ago.
But yeah, the fake band Camel Lips is playing with L7 is up there. And that's Hatchet Face. That's stage diving. The blonde.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
That's Kim McGuire. That's Hatchet Face. Yep.
And so they let her in because they're like, "Oh, you're Serial Mom.
You're Serial Mom."
Like, they already know she's already famous.
Danita Sparks lights Scotty on fire.
I know.
Makes it worse. She lights.
Yeah,
him on
she makes
fire,
it worse.
She spits booze on him and lights him on fire. And I think Jennifer hits him with the guitar or so whatever.
I know they're all like helping her kill him live on stage.
That's what the show is like if you go.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, that kinda.
You know what though? I always thought that was Rob Zombie on stage for some reason as a kid. I'm like, is that? And then all of a sudden I see it, I was like, no, this is definitely not Rob Zombie.
No, not at all.
Because as a kid, I'm actually looking back, like I forgot some things because I blocked it out or whatever. Then all of a sudden I see this, I'm like, oh, okay, so it's a different band than what I thought. But yeah, but I just thought it was funny though because she's actually they're helping her kill this kid that witnessed this thing. I just thought it was just hilarious, that hilarious scene of that.
They love
Serial Mom.
They love Serial Mom. She leaves there chanting, "They're Serial Mom, Serial Mom."
Yeah,
Serial
they're all
Mom.
booing that she's getting arrested.
The band is chanting, like everybody loves Serial Mom, man.
But they get her. They finally get her.
Yep. She's arrested,
and then it's 5 months later. So we don't get to see what she's doing in jail for 5 months, but she looks like she's having a blast.
Oh yeah, she's leading the sing-alongs on the
bus to court.
Right. She's introducing herself to the jury. Like, you need to stop. Then she fed it to the cops. Fed what to the cops?
What? Fed? Oh, the what you said, the lamb chop.
Oh, yes. Fed it to the cops. Yes. Okay, duh. Sorry, that was...
You said it.
It was only a minute ago. It's been so long. But yeah, she's getting this whole thing. She's treating it like it's a circus.
Well, and she's like, what's most important to her is to write this note to her lawyer that this juror
number 8
is wearing white shoes after Labor Day.
Several pairs of white shoes.
She only owned white shoes. She was wearing white shoes every day, and they were different shoes. And so her lawyer's like, okay, I'm gonna say she's insane.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna plead
she's
insanity, and she's like, no.
She fires him.
You're fired. I'll represent myself.
Right. You got a fool for a client.
Then Eugene's like, are you sure that's a good idea, Beverly? She goes, yeah, it'll be fine. Trust me.
Yeah.
And then you also have Chip, who's trying to make deals.
Yes.
Now he has an agent.
He needs an
and
agent.
Suzanne Summers is interested.
Look changed. Right.
Yes. Like it's a whole...
Well, and his girlfriend's all about peace now because it really freaked her out to see all of the actual blood.
It's not like the movies.
It's brown.
No,
it's not red.
So yeah, they call up
Dottie Hinkle.
And she's looking chic in that...
Yes.
She shows up
and Beverly knows exactly how to get to her.
Oh, she just
asked about her drinking.
You motherfucker!
Yeah, she can't hold herself. She said, fuck you to me.
She's like, did you just not fuck you at me?
You're insane. No, I'm not insane, you cocksucker.
Yeah, they have to drag her.
Her mother's a whore.
Yeah, it's like a whole situation. They have to forcibly remove her from the stand.
Because she's now gone mad.
And, now she's totally discredited.
Yeah, so her testimony doesn't matter.
No,
so that's already...
Nobody gives a shit.
And then Misty and her new boyfriend, who's like the reporter for the newspaper, outside selling Serial Mom merchandise.
Yes, at the trial. And
I like how one of the people's like, you know what? I wish that we had one of these at the other trials that we were at.
Yeah. Well, because there are people who do that. John Waters used to do that.
Yeah,
he only doesn't do it because he's too famous now.
Well, yeah, and you're going to see that it's John Waters that's there. But people do. They show up early just to get a seat in the gallery.
This is what we're going to do when we retire.
Retire.
I get to retire.
Well,
I don't know about you.
I mean, I got to work till I die.
Yeah. Well, I'll take you on your half days. So we'll go watch some trials.
On my half days, I'll just call in sick. I'm like, I'm going to a jury trial for fun.
And then Chip's on the phone with Geraldo's people, trying to make a deal when Carl's brother comes up and socks him, and he's like, no. Did you sign the rights though?
He's like, for print,
you're gonna get money.
For movie, for video. He's like, no, for things.
And besides your brother,
I wonder who's gonna play my brother.
Yeah. Jason Priestley.
Jason Priestley available? No, not for that guy. Not for Carl.
And then the stoner girl goes on the stand, and of course she's discredited because she's like stoned on the stand.
Right. She's not giving any
it's
kind
like
of
blue,
like,
man.
It was like blue, like blue.
Blue
so
car.
yeah, like she's no good.
And then the cop is testifying to finding murder books in her trash, but the trash men have found his Chicks with Dicks porno in the trash can. So he flips his shit, and his testimony is meaningless because he's being an asshole.
I like how they said, so if we went to your garbage can, what would we find?
Right.
Oh, good, Sports Illustrated, Yeah, good housekeeping. It'll be fine. Oh, really?
What about this?
Dicks.
When it's like, so what? It has like my response would have been that has no bearing on whether or not you're a murderer.
Well,
so what? I have a Chicks with Dicks magazine. That's where I'm not the one on trial here.
Yeah, I'm not the one on trial here.
And then,
in fact, give that back.
Yeah,
that's mine.
Well, why was it in the trash? Keep that in your drawer, sir, if you want it.
Well,
I'll throw it away.
He needs to get a shredder
or something. And then Rosemary gets called up about the fire poker.
Oh, yes.
And she puts her because she's like, oh, well, didn't he buy an egg that you wanted? And wasn't that your fireplace poker?
And wasn't that your magazine? And do you recycle?
No. Everyone's like, oh, the whole court is aghast.
Right. Humanity.
Right. Like maybe it could be her. So she is also.
Yeah, so she's doing really well at being her own attorney.
She really kind of is.
And then the last detective.
That's when Suzanne Summers shows up.
And then everyone's distracted because Suzanne Summers is there.
She's in the house.
She's in
the house with her little cowboy hat.
And then even the judge goes, hey, Suzanne, I really liked you in Threesome Company.
Oh, yeah. A big fan.
She should have been doing a Thigh Master.
Right?
That's all,
she's doing the motion.
Yes, actually.
Because Mr. Pickles, the pervert, comes up on the stand. And like she's doing a Sharon Stone, but like it's like she's going to fly away.
I know.
Like she's like flapping her legs. So fast.
That's why he's making that face. He's like, oh, I can smell it.
I was going to say it was wafting. It was wafting. Oh my God.
Yeah, she said like
no one noticed. He's very distracted by it though. He was like,
I didn't see anything. I just said what you told me
and
to say.
And the position he was in, I'm sure all he could see was her inner thighs anyway. So I'm like, I don't know what he was getting so horny about.
He's a pervert. Who knows?
Guess.
But I also thought to myself though too, even where she's sitting at is very close to the stand, to the witness stand.
Right, and the judge can't see this.
Did the George not?
The George didn't see it, or the
judge. He was so
judge.
distracted by Suzanne Summers.
That's true.
So.
That's true.
That must be it. Because she was there answering phone calls and she was making a general distraction.
Yeah, and so Mr. Pickles, what a name,
Pickles.
says he lied on the stand,
right?
Because he wants to get in some of that Beverly Poontang, I guess.
Oh, he wants to get into her squirrel covers.
Her squirrel covers.
So now they do closing arguments. The prosecution has proved nothing.
And Suzanne Summers thinks she's a feminist heroine.
Oh, yes. Like, I just hope that I could do justice
to her story.
And now they find her not guilty. All charges.
But this juror is still in white shoes.
Wearing those white shoes. So they walk out.
So yeah, she's getting released. She's getting all the reporters
and she's like, "Back off, Suzanne."
Yeah, she doesn't want to be on that side.
That's my bad side.
And so she follows Patty Hearst to the telephone.
And she's like, "You can't wear white shoes after Labor Day." She's like, "No,
fashion has changed.
No, please, you can."
Oh, it hasn't.
No, it hasn't.
Didn't your mother teach you anything? And she bludgeons her to death with the public telephone. Because what a way to go.
And that's when she pops out and meets Suzanne Summers and is like, "It's my bad side." And then someone sees the foot with the blood and screams.
The blood dripping down on that
white shoe.
But yeah, so now everybody knows. God damn it. It was her the whole time.
Well, but it doesn't end that way. You don't see that.
Well,
it still leaves it up to
Suzanne seems to realize that's what
Suzanne
happened.
seems to realize like, uh-oh.
Realizes what's going on because she looks right at her like.
And in the 90s, I don't know if there even would have been cameras in the courthouse. Like today, there would have been cameras and there would be a video of her doing that. But in the 90s, maybe not.
In a phone booth?
Yeah, probably not.
Maybe not.
And then and I had to go look because I'm a dummy, because it opened with this is a true story, and it closed with the Beverly Sutphin wouldn't cooperate. So I had to actually Google, is this a true story? No, it is not. It is not a true story.
It isn't. It's just one of those rumors that John Waters decided to start. And I love him for it.
But it is a fun movie.
Oh, just John Waters movies are fun just as a general rule.
Of course.
Just as a general rule.
But yeah, this is hands down probably one of my favorite dark comedies to watch. Even it's like one of those, I wouldn't say comfort movies, but it's definitely one of those movies that if it's on a Sunday and you don't have anything else to watch and you want a good laugh and want some dark comedy going, this is actually the one to go with.
It's a good one.
It's a classic.
Most definitely. And I would like to see a sequel to see where she's at now. Just as
right. Is she still killing people? Did she get arrested right after she got?
Yeah. Did that happen? Has she been in prison this whole time? Did she make friends? I'm sure she did.
She's the head bitch. Yeah,
head bitch in charge. She's the baron.
Yes.
Top dog.
Guys, I do want to say this. Thank you so much for coming on here to do this review. I love listening to your podcast. You guys are doing a very good job over there. The banter between you guys is just phenomenal. I think that you guys are one of the best podcasters I ever.
Why, thank you.
Very welcome.
Thank you. We had a lot of fun coming and doing this.
We appreciate the invitation.
Indeed.
Anytime.
And your patronage.
And yes.
And your praise.
Too.
All of the things.
We love all that too. And, glad you're part of the goddamn club.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yes. I am happy to be part of y'all's Patreon and stuff like that. And I knew right whenever I got that Edward Scissorhands episode, I knew that I had to sign on. Like, I think it was like right after the Edward Scissorhands thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to sign on. And
our hatred
just go with it.
That we didn't even know we were going to hate Edward Scissorhands as much as we did.
We went back to rewatch it and it was like, oh.
I just thought I loved every Tim Burton movie. And then now as you're older, some of them you're like, oh,
it's not true.
Maybe not.
Some of them just didn't age well, like we thought. So it's like, yeah.
Well, and there's stuff that you don't notice as a teenager, like
that's true. Like
that you're all romanticizing and into the whole fantasy, but then as a 40-something-year-old, you watch it and like, what?
Yeah,
you didn't even speak 2 words to each other. Right. What do you mean you're in love?
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
We just had that happen to us with the last one that we recorded, also Matthew Lillard.
Oh yeah, no, we just did SLC Punk, another Matthew Lillard. We had a Matthew Lillard week, and we've got 13 Ghosts coming up.
13 Ghosts coming up, so we're gonna have
another good one with him in it. I really like him in 13 Ghosts, Scream. I've done all the Scream reviews and stuff like that.
Yeah, we did Scream before.
Apparently, this is a heavy Matthew Lillard podcast.
I guess, yeah.
I might just want to change my name to the Matthew Miller.
The Matthew Lillard podcast.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna do patent pending. We're gonna do that now.
But yeah, let's see. Yeah,
head friggin' snips.
Yes, snips.
Yeah. So tell everybody where they can go ahead and follow you guys at and all that stuff. Even though it's going to be in the show notes below.
Instagram, Doom Generation Pod. That's really the best place because that has the link tree to all the other things in the bio, to our YouTube, to where you can listen to us, to our merch, to our Patreon. All of that stuff's in our link tree on Instagram at Doom Generation Pod.
And anywhere you can find podcasts.
Yeah, we're available, I think, just about anywhere you can. Yeah. I mean, every small, tiny little player, every big player, we're on them all.
Yeah, any place you can find it, there we are.
So Monday, I'm going to be interviewing. Matter of fact, I'm not going to be interviewing anybody Monday. I'm going to be doing the Fugitive review with another podcaster as well with Harrison Ford in it. And then Tuesday, I'm going to be interviewing a director and a producer for their short film called Dixieland. And matter of fact, Tony Todd played a little part in that film. So I'm going to be interviewing them for that. Rossi will be back here on Wednesday to doing one of her shows. I think she's going to be interviewing some other people. I'm going to stay tuned for more stuff. That's all I got to say. But anyways, that's going to be it as far as this show goes. But thank you guys. It's been a pleasure. I'm happy to have you guys here. Please come by anytime you want to, just to talk some shit or whatever. It doesn't matter. Great.
All right.
So anyways, guys, go ahead and follow them, show them some love. Comment below, like this. If you want to see more or whatever, I'm on all major podcast platforms that you can think of. But further ado, that's going to be it. Everyone has a great and safe night, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Good night.